Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to Eons of Battle. We made a model. We've been working with an artist called Liqerise. You've already seen some of her work in this video and all of our videos, our animated intro. Well, she's also a very good sculptor, and we've been working on creating some minis, and the first one is this. This is the Squid Mage and the Squid Mage Activated, a powerful magic wielder. Not only is this a very unique mini, but those big old tentacles provide an interesting painting challenge. We are going to be producing miniatures monthly, available as STLs and physical 3D prints. This is our May release. It's a Mini of the Month club. And if there are any miniatures you're interested in seeing us produce, please leave your ideas in the comments below. But now, I'm going to paint this model up. This is Liqerice's original design, and it's wonderful as a 2D drawing. But to translate it into a 3D miniature, I'm going to focus on extreme contrast and try and force even more detail into the miniature. I primed the model black, and then I did a very selective zenithal. Instead of just spraying from above, I picked spots on each tentacle to highlight, leaving a majority of each appendage in shadow. These spots of light are going to be the areas that I paint to 100%, and all the shadow I can leave dark and obscured. To get my tentacles to that rosy pink, I made a very watery magenta glaze, and I spread this all over the tentacles using the biggest brush I possibly could. I did this again and again until the color was as saturated as I wanted. It took about 3 passes. Then I took some white paint and began sketching out all my free-handed stripes and spots, following Liqerice's design. This white will do 2 things for me. It'll give me a nice base coat for the green so I don't have to do multiple coats. And I can focus on painting green without worrying about where things should go. That decision has already been made. While I was painting the green, I used a dark green to do some fast and dirty shadows around the edges of each tentacle. I didn't spend too much time perfecting this because I don't need to, because of the next step. The model is bright, but I want a huge shift in light and dark, so I sprayed a transparent black and magenta ink mixture through my airbrush, right over the pink and green to bring everything back in line with my original zenithal. Now I know exactly what spots to focus on and which I can ignore. On each of my bright spots, I took an almost white green and made a line in the middle of my tentacle. Then I did the same thing with an almost white pink. This will be my light reflection. Then I made up a mid-tone of these colors and painted these next to my highlights and began to blend it out. Then I did the same thing with the darker mixture, laying it next to my last brushstrokes. Now I had some stripes of color, so I mixed them together and painted this mixture where my colors met, and I continued to do this over and over until I could no longer see a line of transition. Finally, a glaze of magenta over the pink and green over the spots to help hide any remaining imperfections in my blends. There are other ways to blend, but this is the most simple. You just make new colors in between your old ones and lay them down next to one another until eventually it creates an almost seamless gradient. Then a final glaze can basically make them disappear. And that's the tentacles. It's the ultimate blending opportunity. And after doing this on every single tentacle, I could do it in my sleep. And only focusing on the brightest spots made the process much more manageable. After accomplishing the tentacles, the mage was simple. I glazed a purple gray over her skin and a magenta over her dress. I mixed magenta with black paint, and I used this on all the creases in the fabric. Then I did a line of pure black in the middle of my dark magenta lines. And I did the same operations in reverse, mixing magenta with white to get a highlight going and a lighter shade of pink for the most raised areas. And I treated the skin in the same way, using a black-purple mixture to outline her head, joints, and where her skin met her clothing. Honestly, this is one of my favorite minis I've painted. The tentacles were a challenge, but after tackling it, I feel much more confident in my freehanding and blending. This is also a good learning process for highlights and shadows. It's kinda trippy to move the model around and see the lighting stick right where I placed it. I followed Liqerice's concept art, but you could throw anything on those tentacles. Zebra stripes, octopus spots, Danny DeVito's face. This model is a challenge I overcame, and I'm gonna mount this model on a plinth and write my name on it. And if you also paint it up and show us on Discord, I will write your name alongside mine, and we will show off your painted mini next month when we unveil our next models. If you want the STL version of the Squid Mage and the Squid Mage Activated, you can find that on our Patreon. And after the month of May, they will be available for purchase. And if you want to buy a physical copy, there are 2 links in the description below, one for the US and one for the rest of the world. Thanks for watching.